Under ASC, the Accounting Standards Codification, Topic 740, once you know a difference is temporary rather than permanent, you still need to put a number on it. That number is the deferred tax asset, or DTA, or the deferred tax liability, the DTL. In this section, we will walk through exactly how that number gets calculated, why the tax rate you use matters as much as the difference itself, and how one real piece of legislation forced companies across the country to recalculate their deferred tax balances overnight. ASC 740 uses what is called the balance sheet liability method. Instead of just looking at this year's tax return, you compare the book basis and the tax basis of each asset and liability on the balance sheet. Whatever gap exists between those two bases, multiplied by the tax rate that will apply when that gap reverses, is your deferred tax asset or liability. The method is fundamentally comparative, book basis versus tax basis, translated into a future tax consequence. There are two formulas to know, and they mirror each other. A deferred tax asset equals the future deductible amount multiplied by the enacted tax rate. A deferred tax liability equals the future taxable amount multiplied by the enacted tax rate. A deductible amount gets you a DTA, an asset, because it represents future tax savings. A taxable amount gets you a DTL, a liability, because it represents future tax owed. Let's put numbers on this. The company buys equipment for $1 million and depreciates it straight line over 5 years for the books, so after 1 year the book basis sits at $800,000. For tax purposes it takes 100% bonus depreciation in year 1, so the tax basis drops straight to zero. That leaves an $800,000 taxable temporary difference, book basis higher than tax basis. Multiply that by the 21% enacted corporate rate, and you get a deferred tax liability of $168,000. Why does this matter economically? In the future, the company will keep taking book depreciation, $200,000 a year, but there is no more tax deduction left to take. So taxable income will run higher than book income in those future years, meaning more cash tax paid. The deferred tax liability is simply that future tax burden, recognized on the balance sheet today instead of being a surprise later. So we know how to calculate the difference. But which tax rate do you multiply it by? That is where the enacted rate requirement comes in. ASC 740 is strict on this point. You measure deferred taxes at the tax rate expected to apply when the temporary difference actually reverses, and critically, you use the rate that is already enacted as of the balance sheet date. A rate that Congress is merely discussing, or that has passed one chamber, or that a company expects to happen next year, does not count. Only a signed, enacted rate can be used. Here is the consequence of that rule. When Congress actually passes legislation changing the corporate tax rate, every existing deferred tax asset and liability on the books must be remeasured at the new enacted rate, and that happens in the quarter the legislation is enacted, even if the new rate itself will not take effect until the following year. That remeasurement flows through the income tax provision as a one-time adjustment, and it can swing the effective tax rate dramatically in that one quarter. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the TCJA, gives us a real-world case study. Before the act, a company might be carrying a net deferred tax liability of $500,000, measured at the old 35% rate. The TCJA was enacted on December 22, 2017, cutting the corporate rate to 21%. So that same balance had to be remeasured immediately. $500,000 times 21 over 35 equals $300,000. The difference, a $200,000 swing, was recognized as a one-time income tax benefit in the fourth quarter of 2017, purely because the DTL shrank in value. Not every company benefited. A company sitting on a net deferred tax asset instead of a liability would have seen the opposite effect. That asset shrinks in value at the lower rate, so instead of a one-time benefit, it recognizes a one-time deferred tax expense. Same mechanism, opposite direction, depending on which side of the balance sheet your deferred taxes sit. To recap, deferred taxes are calculated using the balance sheet liability method, comparing book and tax basis, and multiplying the difference by the enacted tax rate. A DTA equals the future deductible amount times that rate. A DTL equals the future taxable amount times that rate. The rate must be enacted, not merely proposed, and whenever Congress changes it, every existing DTA and DTL gets remeasured immediately, exactly as we saw with the TCJA in 2017. Next, we will look at when a DTA might not actually be realizable and why a valuation allowance may be required.